Sky Squad, we are back in the building. And I want to start this video off by asking you guys this question. And I think it's a pretty important question because it's something that we're going to talk about today. Who do you think epitomizes what Real Housewives is really all about in this day and time, right? So we're going to talk about today and what Andy Cohen is saying about who epitomizes the franchise the most at this point in time. But I have a theory about who he would have said if this were a different time. So we're going to get into that, and we got some tea on Potomac. Okay, a little bit more jasmine tea. I mean, it's afternoon right now, so it's kind of I don't know. You tell me if it's Earl Grey or if it's jasmine. Anyway, with that being said, listen, a little bit of housekeeping. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, like this video if you like reality TV related content, because it does help the engagement. Also, too, y'all, we have only 6 spots left on our trip to Bali. Yes, we have gone down to only 6 spots left. So if you have been thinking about it, you've been wanting to do it, you've been trying to, wait until, your next paycheck, you know what I'm saying? Definitely put it on the agenda. We are going to have a great time. We have a 7-day itinerary. The accommodations are 4-star. The price includes the accommodations as well as the full itinerary. We do have transfers for the local itinerary items that we are going to be doing. So if you have questions, let me know. Send me an email at bookings@DJRichieSkye.com. Otherwise, all the information is right there for you to book. Also, we got some tea to talk about today. That's what we're here for. All right, let's get into it. So this comes to us from the Hollywood Reporter article that we talked about yesterday. We kind of dove into it quite a bit, but one of the other headlines that have come out of this, I think, is also pretty interesting. And I wanted to talk to you guys about it today. All right. I would highly suggest you reading the entire article. I will place it in the description again. I placed it in yesterday's video, but I will also place it in this video here because I think it's just an interesting read if you love Housewives the way that I do, at least, and the way that I believe that some of you do. So Andy, when asked, okay, who epitomizes the franchise the most, right? So his response basically was, and I want to shout out our friends over at the Bravo Shade Room for posting this. He responded this. He says, Porsha Williams in Atlanta is a good example. She's funny. She is open. She is someone that you root for. She's vulnerable. She's been on top. She's been on the bottom. So she kind of has everything, and you go along for the ride with her. Now, let me stop right there. Okay. Okay. So, for me, with the vulnerability and the openness, I feel like that is yet to be seen. I do feel like with what she went through with Cordell, I do feel like she was very open about that. I felt like she was quasi open about what was going on with her and Dennis. Although I felt like the roof came off of that mother trucker when she had her show Porsha Family Matters, and I don't feel like that show did her any favors, and I do think that it showed a lot more of what had been possibly going on. But I think towards the end of that show, it felt to me like there was a disconnect with Porsha and more of a connection with like maybe Lauren and her family members and Dennis, because I felt like there were moments where there were just things that I felt like she just wouldn't discuss as things progressed and kind of got worse between her and Dennis. So I don't know what Porsha we're gonna get when we get back to Real Housewives of Atlanta. I'm a Porsha fan. I've always been a Porsha fan, but I also can be objective about some of the instances where I feel like I want the tea and you're not giving it to us. Like even with the Bolo situation, like I just felt like she could have come out. I mean, maybe she couldn't have, but at that time, and maybe she didn't feel like she wanted to. Listen, nobody really has to tell anybody who they having, relations with. But the problem is if you're in a house with everybody else and everybody else is like, girl, this is what I heard, like this is what was going on. I mean, there's a little bit of that going on too. So my thought about it is you got every right to do what you want to do in your intimate life, and can't nobody judge you for it because it is what it is. We grown up in here. Like, let's not act like grown folks ain't doing grown folks things. Like, it is what it is. I don't really care about that. But I think there was just a mismatch with what everyone else was saying and then what she was saying and then what Drew was hiding. But again, I think there's a case for a lady ain't really got to tell what she did in a boudoir with a man. You know what I'm saying? Or a woman or whatever she want to do. Same with a man. So I mean, there's that. So I mean, you can look at it from either way. But for me, I'm just wondering how much of this, how much open is she going to be when we get back to filming next week or at the end of this month? As reported exclusively by B. Scott in our video yesterday. Check that out if you haven't seen it. All right. Then he goes on to say Bryn Whitfield on The Real Housewives of New York, this rebooted version that I did not watch. Okay. I can't really give you that much tea about, the Bryn of it all, but I just kind of feel like, I really, I've seen bits and pieces of the clips online, and I just don't know that show really does it for me. I'm a OG New York Housewives fan, so anything before this season I was a fan of. This season, this new bunch, I don't really know. Because you got the one Jenna girl on there who will not even speak about her relationship on the show. And it's like, girl, why is you here? Okay, why is she here, Ike? Listen, if you were just here to be fabulous and just show up a la Phaedra on Married to Medicine, let's make her a friend and keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? Let's put our energy into the people that's willing to like give us some of their lives. I understand you got your boundaries, but if you got that many boundaries, then reality TV may not be the thing for you. Period. All right. So then Tamra Judge. Tamra is somebody I can actually see that he would say that about, because I do feel like Tamra is going to do whatever she can to make the TV show good. Whatever she got to do, Tamra gonna do it, and we're gonna see all of her life. Okay. I can't deny that. Kyle, I got a problem with. Okay. I feel like there's just a level of loyalty that he has with Kyle Richards for some reason at this point, and maybe it is because he feels like she has held Beverly Hills down for so long. But in my mind and in my eyes, you were only as good as your last season, and her last season to me was a flop, pop, 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 because I just feel like she didn't really give us what we wanted to know about that Morgan situation. And you got more from the first episode of Buying Beverly Hills than you did from a whole season of Kyle gaslighting us that about whatever. We having a tough time in our marriage, but really ain't willing to go into the details about what it is. And again, if you don't want to give those details and do all that, that's fine. Go be a friend. Go sit out this season. Do something else. Let that man tell us what's going on Buying Beverly Hills, because what you did for this year, you got paid for doing nothing. Okay, so I want to now get into what I think Andy would have said, okay, if this were a different time, 8-day and time. I feel like if this were yesteryear, or if certain things hadn't taken place, he would have said Nene Leakes. We already know that, okay? Listen, you can call a thing. You can talk about how Nene Leakes could be her own worst enemy when it comes to Bravo, or you could talk about how Nene Leakes stood up for what she believed in. It depends on which side of the fence that you on that day. Okay. But what I got to say is this: you cannot deny the cultural impact that Nene Leakes has had on that franchise. Period. I also think that he would have said Bethany Frankel, because whether you like Bethany or not, Bethany in her heyday as a housewife, she made New York pop. Okay. New York already was a show that I appreciated because it moved very, very quickly. I've yet to see a reality TV show, especially a Housewives franchise, move that fast. I mean, the way they were filming, and maybe it was because it was New York, I just felt like that show was fast. And part of the reason for that speed was I also felt was because of Bethany. Bethany is quick on her feet. She is fast with the read. She has fun shade. She's funny as AF. She's funny AF. And, Bethany nowadays, I just feel like is a different type of entity, but I'm talking about her in the heyday of her Housewives. I also think that he would have said Lisa Vanderpump over Kyle Richards. Personally, I feel like I was watching Beverly Hills for Lisa Vanderpump. I mean, while Kyle was a great character, in my mind, Kyle is sort of a beta character. You know what I'm saying? In terms of her place as a cast member. I ain't talking about real life. Okay. In real life, she could be the biggest boss. Okay. In my best Marie Monroe voice. But on the show, she came across, and she still oftentimes comes across more as a beta character, unless she finds a character like Sutton who she feels like is weaker. But we're not going to talk about that. I like Kyle, don't get me wrong, but I can also call a thing the thing, the thing, the thing, the thing, the thing, the thing, the thing. Okay. And as you guys can tell, I have had my morning cup of Joe this morning. Yes, I have. So we are on the 10 and we are unhinged. And I'm perfectly fine with it. So then the next person, because and let's get back to Beverly Hills. Because yes, I was watching Beverly Hills for Lisa Vanderpump, because Lisa Vanderpump had the swans in her front yard. Okay, she had a moat around the house. She had a name for the house, Villa Rosa. You know what I'm saying? She had the restaurantes. She still got restaurantes. She's still on the TV screen doing the shows and manipulating the folks. Okay, well, I mean, that's, allegedly, maybe. I don't know what she's doing. Is it manipulation, or is it puppet stringing? I don't know what she's doing. All I know is the woman is out there making great TV, but she's just doing it on another show. And you can say what you want, but at that point in time, we were watching Beverly Hills because we wanted to hear her talk and hear her shade these girls down in her British accent. And then the final choice that I feel like he might have said, okay, in yesteryear, I think he might have said Teresa, because Teresa at that point in time, I mean, she had been through it, ups and downs and all arounds, and jail and all types of things, and she still came back. I feel like at this point in time, he not as likely to say that, because Teresa is a bit more polarizing in this day and time, and I just don't know that she still has that. I mean, listen, if you talk to the people who support her, if you look online and you look at them supporters, the way they be going hard for Teresa, I mean, listen, I mean, there is a level of like, tree hugging that it's beyond belief. So, be careful in them streets. But all I got to say is, I just think that if it were a different time, he would have said something different. And it's very interesting to see what he's saying now in this new space, right? All right, so that's the tea on that. Let's get into what's going on down to Potomac, okay? Andy was in DC for an event for his book, and of course, there were housewives from DC, Mary Amons and Linda Erkalician. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. She was on, the two of them were cast members on the Real Housewives of DC. I have been searching for Stacey, the black woman that was on Real Housewives of DC, but I feel like she just disappeared off the internet. Maybe she's just not online like that. Maybe she's still doing the real estate and is just popping and dropping and locking it like that she don't really need to be on social media like that. I don't know. But you never really see her when it comes to conversations about, reflecting on DC as a Housewives franchise. But anyway, this ain't about DC. This is about Potomac, and we got a little bit of tea here.
So I'm in DC doing an event for my book. Look who came to see the Grand Duke of Potomac, the Grand Dame of Potomac. Wow, you look good, Karen. Oh my God. How's filming though?
Filming is everything. We've got treats for the audience.
Okay.
Stay tuned. Let me put my shades on.
Oh, yeah.
The youngins are bringing it, okay?
Wow. Oh. So I'm in DC.
Youngins are bringing it. Okay, so let's put this in conjunction with what we just saw yesterday down to the Bravo Shade Room, where we saw, was it Bravo Shade Room or was it Queens of Bravo? I think it was Queens of Bravo, my bad. Well, we saw, Giselle and Ashley. I got to show y'all this. I got to show y'all this. This is so sad. This is so sad, though. But I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you something that I saw, and I swear it tickled me, and it took me out just a wee bit. Okay, just a wee bit. Somebody said, now again, all commentary is alleged, and I didn't say it. Okay, somebody else did. So somebody said, the Mama Dot parody account said, someone said that's the whose husband are we going after next stance. talking about Giselle and Ashley in this conversation right here in this Ponderosa. Is that what y'all think that's what they planning? You know, y'all think that's what's going on here? Y'all think that's what they saying? I mean, what y'all think? Let me know. Lord, I hope not. I can't take it no more. I'm tired of that tired old storyline of, you know, somebody's husband did something. Somebody, what is going on with y'all? Okay. How about that? How about we focus on that? All right. Anyway, so Karen is giving us the tea that the youngins is the ones bringing it. Okay. I guess Giselle said, y'all came out to me enough. I'm tired. Okay. I'm putting my heels up. I'm resting my legs, and I'm sitting back this season and letting these young folks carry the show, because the way y'all be coming after, you know, her. Although I think that one thing that I think you can say about Giselle, and people think that I dislike her, I don't. I just don't like some of her ways. But the thing about it on the show, I don't know her in real life. You know what I'm saying? She could be completely different. I don't know. What I'm saying is this. I think the Giselle, the thing that I have to say, if you dislike her, you like her, or whatever, what you can say is this: that woman is the epitome of unbothered on like all over the place. Like, I mean, I just feel like she is like on that show, she is a pure menace. And you know, the way people be going in on her, I mean, you would act like she had never seen, you would think she had never seen it. Okay. So that's interesting. That's very interesting to me. I think it's a lesson. It might be a lesson for how, you know, people should respond to, like, you know, when they're getting dragged on their shows or whatever like that. And I'm starting to notice this trend. I don't know if y'all are noticing it, that I'm seeing a lot of like housewives. It seems like they're backing off from the Twitter like space in terms of uh like live tweeting about the shows and like tweeting at all about the show. Have y'all noticed that, or is it just me? I don't go on Twitter like that, but I'm just saying I see fewer Twitter posts being posted on some of the sites that I, you know, frequent to, you know, for which we can base our commentary, right? I don't know. Y'all let me know. I just felt like we would have this fun little Ponderosa today. Make sure you guys keep it locked onto the channel. Make sure you guys also check out the travel channel. I did just drop another part 11 in the Switzerland travel series is out today. So make sure you guys check that out on my Richie Skye in Real Life channel. That will be premiering. By this time that you have seen it, it will have already premiered. It is a pretty long video. It's about 25 minutes. So you can get all into what happened when we got to Grindelwald, Switzerland. So that's it. I know we got a lot going on. Thank you guys for being super supportive with the channel. I really, really appreciate it. Make sure you guys like this video. And if you're interested in coming to Bali, like I said, we have 6 spots left. So go ahead and grab those spots so we can go ahead and book this next trip. All right. With that being said, I will catch you all in the next video.